Alright, everybody, welcome to episode number 52 of our local to global run as TNA Wrestling. Now, you might notice, it's kind of hard not to, new UI look. Since in between the last episode and this one, there was a graphics pack called Febreze, I think it was, that makes it look like this, and I think this looks better than the original, so I put it on. That's number one. Number two, I mentioned this in a previous one, but we were running into a problem where the mod that we were using, Here Comes the Money 2001, simply didn't have the amount of people that it needed to have for a long running game. I think in total they had about 2,000 workers, and we got to a point where here in 2008 where there's only like 20 wrestlers that are going to debut from now until like 2025. So that's like one. That's averaging a little over one a year. Other than that, there weren't going to be any, which is why Where are they? Where's my developmental? Where is he? Sarah? No, there's got to be one guy. Yeah, where I started bringing in random generated wrestlers to try and fill in that void. After doing the previous couple episodes with that being the case, I decided it was time to add some more wrestlers. So we do have a couple more wrestlers than before. I went to the Real World pack, the mod, and I took the wrestlers from that and I threw it into this. So that way we went from, I think, having 2,000 wrestlers to having like 5.5 to 6,000. So there are definitely a lot more people that we're going to be able to go out and hire that were not available in the previous one. As a matter of fact, I've gone through and I've gotten rid of any duplicates, as many as I could find, because there are some things where it's like, oh, they don't have like the apostrophe or like the accent over their name or something, so it was just Patron without the accent. This one does, so then there'd be two of them or something like that. So I went through and I got rid of all the ones that weren't native to the original save. For example, Aaron Stevens. This is the original. Can you see his... Where? Okay, you can. So, like, this is the original guy. You can tell because he's had matches throughout his career. Not a lot. I only used him a couple of times. I used him twice in 2007. But he has not had a lot of matches at all in his career. He's only had 10, and he only won once. But he's a native guy. He's native to the original save. So we saved him with his skills and popularity intact. Now, there are a couple of instances where I wasn't able to get rid of some. Actually, no, I think I got rid of all of them. Oh, I wasn't able to delete them. So there are still, I think if I get rid of to hire, you'll see one here. Yeah, Abyss. He's 82. He's retired and he's left the business. His popularity is higher than Prince Justice, the native one. And the idea is that these guys will be gone. They'll never come back. They'll just be populating the save, but they'll serve no purpose. He's the youngest one. I jumped their age up to like into the 80s and 90s, so that way like no one would ever hire them. And now with the to hire button on, they're gone from the save, and I'll never see them. So hopefully, there are no major problems with this, and we have a lot more people to work with. However, trying to be fair here, I could have my pick of the litter. For example, AJ Lee or AJ Mendez is right here. Her skills are pretty good. Her popularity is at a 0, because technically she did just debut. She actually straight up debuted in April. And her stats are really good. I could go out and hire her right now, and I would have the advantage on anybody else. Andrew Everett, he's only 15 in the save, and he's a rookie. Did he really start wrestling that early? I digress. Andrew Thomas, another referee. I think he's native to the save. He might not be, actually, but I digress. I could go. The point is, I could go around and I could sign all of these guys now. I do have a. Nope, that's not my short list. Where's my short list? I thought it would be right on the screen. Hold on. There it is. So I did go through and I grabbed a couple. AJ Lee, Athena, oh god, Dexter Lu. No, that's not Dexter Loomis. What the hell is his name? Ludwig von Kaiser. Uh, Tyler Breeze, Chad Gable, who I don't think is actually supposed to be around. I think in reality he was still, yeah, he's in. I think he just graduated from the University of Minnesota, and then he trains for like 4 years to go to the Olympics. So I don't think technically he shouldn't be in this A, but he is. Dakota Kai, Fandango, you know, oh god, what's it? LA Knight. People like this, I could go out and sign them, but I'm not going to because of the simple fact that I think that would be unfair. Uh, so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to wait 1 week. By that point, the AI should snatch up everybody that they want, and then whoever's left, I'll be able to go for at that point. So we're going to have one show, and before that point, that'll be Teen Explosion number 64. Quickly look at our finances, and we see the Great Al Snow penalty that I get for not paying attention when I was making a contract. Uh, Austin and The Rock are making me a ton of money as long as they never leave. I'll be very happy about that. Although, if you scroll down, Steve Austin is considered toxic due to the fallout of his scandal. So I don't really know how that's going to affect us yet. We're still at a 57. Hopefully we'll get those 2 bips today and get up to medium, because that would actually be a pretty good thing, because well, then we'll be able to hold house shows. And we'll see if we're able to make money off of that. But I digress. That is the state of things as of now, and I'm going to go ahead and book the next show. And then when we get to a week from today, I'll show you who I am looking to hire. So I'll see you in just a second. Alright, here we are at TNA Explosion number 64, held in front of 2,300 people and the John A. Alario Senior Event Center. We start off the show with a quick little squash match where Monty Brown beats Shark Boy. 33 segment rating. Not great, but it wasn't supposed to be. Just a nice little thing to get the crowd going. And then we have Monty Brown comes up and cutting a promo, which apparently he does not do it without a script to follow. That doesn't sound right. Nigel McGuinness and Chavo Guerrero come out for the TNA United States Championship match. Nigel McGuinness wins it, defending it for the 11th time, beating Chavo Guerrero with a pendulum lariat, a 62 wrestling rating, and a 53 segment rating. We then follow it up with a pretty big tag team match. The Afternoon Express takes on the Motor City Machine Guns, and just when it looks like Jerry Lynn and Al Snow have the match won, out comes CM Punk and Matt Hardy. On the outside, Matt Hardy attacks Al Snow outside of the view of the referee, and Jerry Lynn gets tripped up by Punk right into a super kick from Alex Shelley. Chris Sabin hits the Cradle Shock, and that is how the Motor City Machine Guns win. They will be a very big player in this month's Tag Team Championship scene. We then followed up with a promo between The Rock and Austin backstage. With The Rock and Austin now being co-authority figures, subservient to Jeff Jarrett, or I guess you have a triumvirate here. You have Jeff Jarrett, Dwayne, and Austin. Those two butt heads, but they can't attack each other. We then go to a pretty good random match I threw out there. Brock Lesnar taking on Takashi Iizuka, and he wins it in about 10 minutes with a shooting star press. Bang. Brock Lesnar had an 81 in-ring performance. 68 wrestling rating, 67 segment rating. I'm going to end up regretting not having that as the main event. Brock Lesnar cuts a promo as best he can without Jim Cornette. We then have CM Punk and Matt Hardy, who are talking in the back later on in the night after screwing over Al Snow and Jerry Lynn. Matt Hardy has a match tonight against the Full Metal Mayhem winner, Lance Cade. And CM Punk's hyping him up. They're getting ready to go. We go out to the match. A 77 match rating. That might be one of the highest we've had in a while. However, the segment rating does not follow suit because Al Snow comes out and attacks the wrong guy. Okay, that shouldn't have happened. We then end off the night. Lance Cade, Jerry Lynn are beating up on Matt Hardy. Punk comes out, Al Snow right behind him. Brock Lesnar comes out, clears house, and The Rock and Austin throw punches on the ramp to end off the show. We'll see how that goes into next week. A 65, and we did not get a bip in popularity. We did make $15,000. Oh my god, we're making money. I can't believe it. Oh, we did get a bip. It didn't go up, but we did get some credit for that. Mid-South went up. Hell yeah. Alright. Let's see how many of our preferred candidates for jobs are not going to be here when it's available. I did go out and sign some guys that were available naturally. Sean Spears, Roderick Strong, very cheap developmental guys. Adam Cole, and then a couple random people. Kensuke Sasaki, Aaron Stevens, and John Layfield. I'm re-signing JBL. Mike Sanders is going to leave soon. We had 337,000 people watch, I think. No, that's less than the week before. That's about 20,000 less than the week before. That's not good. Anyway, I digress. We cut the deficit of that about $30,000. That's not bad. All right, I am going to pause the recording, and we're going to get to the day before the next show, and we're going to see who's available for me to sign. All right, so I may have gotten a little carried away. Trying to re-sign Matt Morgan, although we haven't been using him very much, and the new hires, ACH, Air Paris, and a lot of women. If you recall, if you've been here since the first episode, you'll know that one of the things I wanted to do, a lot more guys than I thought I was hiring, was make a women's division and actually have it be good. But the problem was that the women's division, the available female wrestlers at the time were not great. I mean, the best one was Jazz, and we had Jazz as the champion for a long time. It wasn't working out, so I just stopped doing it. Now with actual good women wrestlers out there on the market that hadn't been around for a while, we're gonna give it the good old college shot this time around. Maybe I'll even make a developmental thing for only women, and we'll see how that goes. But I digress. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go book the next show now, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Alright, everybody, welcome to TNA Explosion number 65, held in front of 2,400 people at the John A. Alario Senior Event Center. We have this random dude we found off the street and paid him $100 to go out and take a pounce from Monty Brown, and he actually got a 44, surprisingly enough. Not bad for Monty. We then start off the actual broadcast with a tag team match between the Culture Club and Team Canada, two members of which being the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Kevin Steen and Petey Williams going out and defeating the Culture Club. Petey Williams getting the pin with a Canadian Destroyer. A 55 to start off the show. We then go to the backstage. Jarrett is reprimanding both Johnson and Austin, telling them you guys are part of the authority of this company. You cannot be throwing punches at each other. So you're going to have to learn to live with each other. And not only that, neither one of you is going to get involved with the World Heavyweight Championship match at the pay-per-view. Both go and then leave. We then follow it up with a United States Championship match between Nigel McGuinness and Mike Sanders, where Nigel McGuinness clocks in the 12th defense of the TNA United States Championship, getting a 59 match rating. We then follow it up with a contract signing between Brock Lesnar and Kevin Steen. Brock Lesnar getting his long-awaited rematch. And by long-awaited, I mean he's been waiting 3 weeks for it and he hasn't killed Kevin Steen yet. They come out, they sign the contract, and surprisingly, nothing happens. No one goes through a table. It's actually an alright little contract signing. But they follow it up with CM Punk taking on Jerry Lynn in an exceptional match. Jerry Lynn gets the victory over CM Punk, a 67. We then head to the back where first it's Dwayne and Al Snow. They're talking. They're happy about what's going on. Jerry Lynn comes in and Dwayne gets Al hyped for his match against Matt Hardy. And that match is significantly worse. In an exceptional match, Matt Hardy does beat Al Snow anyway to win the match. A 63, and we made $20,000. I take that. Oh, look at all those bips. I'm happy about that. We are at 58. If we can get up to 59 in the Southeast, we will be at medium. We will unlock house shows for the first time. That'll be fun to try and figure out how the hell we're going to work that around, but that'll be for another week, I suppose. New match of the year. Mysterio beating Tommy Dreamer, Chris Canyon, and Booker T, a fatal four-way. And they also had another one, which is the Giant Bernard and Kwee beating Rob Van Dam and Billy Kidman. They had 2 5-star matches on one show. Are you kidding? Oh, well, I guess we just signed everybody. We signed a lot of people, I suppose. Air Paris. Wow, even lower show rating than we had before. God damn. Anyway. Oh, and I think we also have new networks. I don't think any of them are going to want to do business with me, though. Maybe some of them. I did add the networks because, again, we were running low on some of this stuff. But I think for, like, pay-per-view stuff, they still won't hire me because of the stupid thing I did. Oh, yeah, there's 2. There be 2 YouTubes. That one's just Canada. That was an inferior one. I might have to get rid of that one. Terrestrial. I actually don't think I've ever used a terrestrial. I guess I do, but I don't recall doing it. I digress. But there are some new ones, none of which I've used yet. So that is all right. How's our finances looking? All right, we're making money. That's all we can really ask for. Everything's looking pretty good. We've got one more show before the pay-per-view, so let's go ahead and get that booked. All right, in a segment that wasn't supposed to start off the show, we start off with TNA Explosion number 66, held in front of 2,500 people at the War Memorial Auditorium in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We start off with the TNA United States Championship match between Nigel McGuinness and the newly signed Jushin Thunder Liger from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He comes in and they have a barn burner of a match. It goes on for almost 20 minutes before Jushin hits Nigel with a brainbuster and wins, stopping Nigel's TNA United States Championship run at 12. 3 defenses short of being able to go for the X Division Championship. Liger is your new winner. We then follow it up with an angle where we have the 3 men in the 3-on-3 match tonight: Brock Lesnar, Punk, and Matt Hardy, as well as Lesnar's manager Jim Cornette, talking about the match and having kind of an uneasy truce between them. Punk and Lesnar have a history, and Hardy, who's more newer to the company, is more on Punk's side. We then go to the back. Liger is celebrating the title win, his first match in the new company, winning the belt. Nigel's pissed. He wants a shot again because he's mad that he, lost it so close. Jarrett gives him a match at the pay-per-view to try and reclaim the title. However, he will start again at 0 once more. We then follow it up with a boss match between Bob Holly and Batista that ends in a double pinfall. Batista was the better in-ring performer. I would not have guessed that. A 65 segment rating. We then followed up with Monty Brown beating Chad Collier, just as a nice, simple little match. And then we go into the penultimate angle of the show. The Vision and Team Canada join forces as Al Snow, Jerry Lynn will team up with Kevin Steen to take on the aforementioned 3 from before: Lesnar, Punk, and Hardy. They get along all right. Scott D'Amore and Dwayne have a war of words, which Dwayne easily wins because it's The Rock of all people. But we then head on to the main event, and we have Kevin Steen in the Afternoon Express defeating our 3 heroes when Kevin Steen pins CM Punk with a package pile driver. A 74 wrestling rating, a 67 segment rating, and a 65 overall rating for the show. Jushin Liger was used too much. I disagree. We then go to the financial report. We made $21,500. Popularity, we gained bips everywhere. Mid-South went up by 1. That's what I like to see. and just in time for the pay-per-view. I'm hoping that the pay-per-view gives us our coveted number 59 spot. That is my hope. And then we'll be able to actually, try and have some house shows. WCW Nitro was fantastic. And the new female knockouts division is up and running. Yes, I did use the fucking Vince Russo thing. Sue me. Uh, bad taste, but it doesn't matter. The all women's division is being showcased here for the first time. They got 39. They should hopefully be rising up faster. IWA is at a 45. I did go through all of my developmental, so they're on a constant schedule. So every 2 or 3 days, they are doing a show. Before it was a weekly show. I think they had 2 weekly shows and then a monthly pay-per-view or monthly event, and we'll see how that transpires, how much money I'm spending on that. But the idea is that we'll be building up our guys that work at these places, as well as being able. There's the knockouts, and there's the IWA. So hopefully they'll be able to build up on popularity. Hopefully, because a lot of the people that I hired had zero popularity, and not to mention the more popularity they have, build them up, and have a couple of pretty stable. Pretty stable companies on the back burner. Christian York is dating someone outside the industry. The Miz wants out. Breeze wants out. Ryback wants out. Unfortunately for them, they're staying. Goldberg's contract went up, and like 8 different promotions are all vying for that. New Japan, WCW, All Japan, and Noah of all places. Noah's a new one. I guess it just recently got up to big, and they're making money sometimes. I mean, I'm in that boat too. And then of course, All Japan and New Japan, which are just juggernauts compared to where I'm at right now. I can't wait for that moment where money isn't even a concern. But it still is. We're still dealing with it. Despite spending $100,000 to build that all women's promotion, we're still not out of making money yet. We'll see Sacrifices in 3 days. I'm going to go book it, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. All right, everybody, welcome to TNA Sacrifice 2008, held in the Garrett Coliseum in Montgomery, Alabama. We have so far a standing attendance of 11,977 people, a new record in TNA history. We start off the night with a match between Sting and Samoa Joe. Sting hit Samoa Joe with the Scorpion Death Drop and wins the match, a 63. We followed up with a rematch from Wednesday night. Nigel McGuinness taking on Jushin Thunder Liger. Liger wins again, defending his title for the first time, and Nigel McGuinness losing the second time in a row. Segment rating of 49. We followed up Monty Brown taking on Charlie Haas for the X Division Championship. Charlie Haas makes Monty Brown tap out after Russ Haas comes out, trying to hit Charlie Haas with a chair. Hits Monty, which allows him to stumble backwards. Haas goes underneath, picks him up, hits him, puts him in the Haas of Pain, and he grabs the title, gets the hell out of Dodge. New champion. Russ Haas is pissed, not as pissed as Monty, who comes out and just beats the shit out of him before picking up a microphone and saying that he's going to get his revenge on both Haas brothers and on the Vision for sending out Russ Haas. Maven versus Steve Corino, just a random little match I decided to throw together. That did pretty well. Maven beats Steve Corino. Corino's pissed. He cuts a promo on Maven. We then have a debuting Rodriguez, who I poached from the WWE. He comes in and has a 66. He's the best worker out of the bunch. And he pins Chris Hero pretty easily. 54 segment rating. Pretty good matches all around. We then have the return of the Haas fight between Bob Holly and Batista. This time Batista gets the win. A 66 segment rating. We then followed up with a triple threat tag team elimination match where America's Most Wanted takes on the Motor City Machine Guns and Culture Club with a new picture for Football London. And does everybody have benefits? No. Culture Club did not have a benefit for that. But America's Most Wanted wins and retains. They go back, cut a promo, putting themselves over. They are one of the winningest tag teams in TNA history at this point. We then followed up with a match that finally got above a 70 today. Afternoon Express gets defeated by CM Punk and Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy hits Jerry with a twist of fate, gets the pinfall 72. They go back, they celebrate. Time for the main event. Oh. Well, as you can see, something happened. Originally, it was Kevin Steen versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's rematch for the title. That, considering he never lost it before, the match goes on. Kevin Steen does a lot better than anybody expects him to. We get to about the final 3 minutes, and out comes Lance Cade to cash in his Full Metal Mayhem contract. He comes in, throws Batista, but Brock Lesnar out of the ring, hits Kevin Steen with a diving elbow drop. 1, 2, 3, Lance Cade wins the belt and gets the hell out of the ring. He runs up the ramp, leaving behind a very pissed off Brock Lesnar. Kevin Steen, who's out. Jim Cornette, who can't believe what the hell just happened. And Dwayne Johnson comes out onto the ramp, celebrating with one of his men in the Vision. A 74. That ended up with a 62. That went pretty good. Alright, make Brock Lesnar happy. Brock Lesnar wasn't happy that he wasn't winning that match, but that's fine. Samoa Joe was here, and CM Punk was here. If I just put in... Nope. Stop. What are you doing? There we go. Very happy, seemed pleased, was pleased. We made $188,000. $215,000 in ticket sales. Popularity, we did not get a BIP in Southeast, but we got a BIP everywhere else. Some in Mexico, some in the United States. Not a bad showing. Hi, Dax. Is there a reason why you're looking at me so fucking terrifyingly? Psychology of 84. I believe that. 73 Brawling. I also believe that. Shawn Michaels. Damn it. Still can't sign any of these guys. That is the unfortunate thing. If I could have gotten my hands on him, you wouldn't have believed the things I would have done. He'd have been jobbing out to fucking Michael Shane. That's right. Put your cousin over. All right. Oh, the random dude I hired to be my booker, who actually for some reason has really good booking trade, and that one show alone put us over into the money. So we have rectified the Al Snow penalty, and we've paid off our women's company fully. That is pretty good. Actually, how are people's popularity doing? Styles has been hurt since probably about November, so he's been pretty stagnant. Although he is gaining. It appears he is gaining some popularity points because he is the announcer on these shows, so he's getting points for that, I guess. That's actually not a bad way to build somebody up, I suppose. Throw them in the commentary booth and watch their popularity go up. Brock. Ooh, Brock got hurt. Oh no, actually, I guess he was up at a 69, now he's at a 66. So kind of a fluctuation there. Punk's not doing great. Where's Matt? I don't know, try and make sure. Matt's at a 70. When I hired him, he was at 76. So he's doing all right. He's not doing great. Petey Williams is there. Sting? Oh, I think Sting, he went down. He went down. That's not good. We just haven't had any explosive, pardon the pun for our TV show name, but we haven't had any fantastic shows yet. They're all been in the 60s, which is all right. It'll get us into the 59, which is what we want, but it's not going to be very much of a cushion. So. Hey, Lobo. Unfortunately for you, I'm not a big fan of hardcore. Oh, who are they offering a contract to? The Boogeyman? What? They're going to hire the Boogeyman. Oh, okay. I'm going to hire Chad Gable, because he showed up at the show and was like, "Hey, can I muck around back here?" And I said, "Sure." And I'm hiring him, and I'm immediately gonna throw him down into IWA. All right, and with that, I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to book the second to last show of this episode, and I'll see you again in a moment. All right, welcome to TNA Explosion number 67, held in front of 2,400 people, a sold-out crowd at the John A. Ilario Senior Event Center. We start off, the Vision comes out, they are celebrating, they have the world title once again. Kevin Steen comes out, interrupts their celebration. He says that he is due a rematch and he wants it tonight. The Rock and Lance Cade are like, that's not going to happen. Out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Stone Cold says, nuh-uh, it's happening tonight. That is your main event. We then followed up with Chad Collier taking on Bob Holly, and Bob Holly winning. We then have a Matt Hardy promo where he's putting himself over, wanting to go ahead and go after the World Heavyweight Championship. We follow that up with Monty Brown getting some measure of revenge on Russ Haas, beating him in 14 minutes for a 45 match rating, and then he cuts a promo saying, "I'm coming for you, Charlie." Then we have the United States title match, Jushin Thunder Liger taking on Chavo Guerrero. A nice, alright little match before he cuts a promo, does a really good promo, before we get to the main event of the evening, Lance Cade fighting Kevin Steen for the title. It ends in a draw because out comes Brock Lesnar, and he beats the hell out of both of them, and he is like, "I'm getting my shot first. Damn it." That is a 62. Financial report, we made $20,000. Popularity, we gained 1 BIP in Puerto Rico. Oof. We just can't get... We're just not getting that last little bit we need to get over the hedge. Over the hedge? Over the hump here. Anybody getting fired? It doesn't look like it. Being let go. Oh, gotta go redo that. 336,000 people. Gotta go. IPW needs to get their TV back. New deal for... extend the deal for events. Hey, they'll go to 9 months for that. That is good. At IWA Broadcasting. Alright, so until they get bigger, they're not going to do anything. Yeah, just give everybody... Oh! Can I just do that, like, ad infinitum? Unless there's 3 months left. Okay. So because I started with the 3 month, they were willing to do it. So that's how you get the 6 month deal pretty easily. Alright, we are sitting at $44,000. We still have one more show and a little bit more merchandise revenue. So we'll see how that goes. I will meet you back up again to book the final show. Alright, welcome to TNA Explosion number 68, held in front of another sold-out crowd at the John A. Ilario Senior Event Center. We start off the night with a promo by all of Team Canada. They are representing, or 3 of them will represent Team Canada in tonight's main event. It is a triple threat 3-way, or triple threat 3-person, 3v3v3. There we go. And Team Canada will be represented by Kevin Steen and 2 of his 3 cohorts here. They're game planning in the back, getting ready for the main event. We then follow it up with John Layfield, one of his first matches back from being hurt. It's not his first, I think it's his second. Takes on La Parka and knocks him out, but not before straining his wrist. We then followed up with a Batista Matt Hardy promo. Matt Hardy comes out, says that he wants to have a match. Batista comes out to oblige it, and they go out and they have a pretty good match, all things considered. A 68 segment rating. Jushin Liger comes out, has a pretty good promo before his challenger of the night comes out, Jimmy Rave. Jushin Liger beats Jimmy Rave. That is his 3rd defense of the title. We then have the Vision promo with Rodriguez. or Rodriguez, Lance Cade, and Russ Haas. They come out, and we have our triple three-team, whatever the fuck this is. Team Canada, Eric Young, Kevin Steen, Bobby Roode facing Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, and Monty Brown, who's here because Russ is here, against Lance Cade and Russ Haas and Rodriguez. A pretty good match all around. The star of the match was Brock Lesnar at an 80, and Eric Young was the worst at 29. Jesus. After the match is over, Brock Lesnar and his cohorts celebrate the win, 61. Damn. Alright, who's hurt? It's just John Layfield. He'll be fine in a couple of days. So that's good. Financial report made 18 grand. Popularity, we gained 1 point in Puerto Rico. And that is it, I think, for the month of April. I don't think there's much else to do here. I was hoping we'd get over up to 59, but we just didn't have a phenomenal show. There we go, and we are now in the month of May. Is there anything new? Doesn't look like it. Roger Strong wants to come back out. We scored first, and 335,000 people. Alright, that is a pretty lackluster event. We made money. Despite all odds, we did, in fact, come out of this with more money than we did beforehand. And we spent significantly more money on workers. Almost $1 million. Most of that's on bonuses and perks? What the hell? The hell are the bonuses and perks for? I'm curious. Oh, duh. Duh. It's the Al Snow. That's how much it was. Okay, so yeah, that's the Al Snow special right there. So if you get rid of that, we're probably close to around $80,000, which makes sense. We were using a lot more people this time around. So probably add about 300,000 back on. And 400,000 because the miscellaneous, we spent $100,000 there too. So next month should be pretty damn good. This is our highest grossing ticket sales month ever. But by a good margin, not a small one. It's 100,000 more. Made more money off TV, made more money off merchandise, and made more money off sponsors. So definitely a good situation. Our merchandise upscale is at 22%. Dwayne sold 581,000. Steve sold 370. That is pretty good. Everything's in the yellow. Canada's there. All right. I think we're doing all right. Could be doing better. Could definitely be doing worse. How much money did I spend on my developmental? About $62,000. Speaking of that, let's actually take a look around. Where's the first one? Where's Impact? There's Impact Pro Wrestling, which was Pro Wrestling World 1 when I bought the damn thing. They sold $10,000 in tickets, $10,000. Oh, they actually... Did they make... Oh, no, that's because that's the amount of money I had to send them, because they were spending a lot of money on show costs. Which makes sense, because they're running significantly more shows. They're not paying the workers very much, but the cost to run the shows is a lot. Their size is now at a 23. Okay. That is not bad at all. IWA, if I can click IWA. IWA is at 15, so they're almost there. We had to give them $36,000. And then the Knockouts, which have only been around for a little bit, we had to give them $15,000. Typical startup problems. Speaking of startup problems, yes, $500,000. If they keep losing at that rate, they'll be in the red in 10 months. Meanwhile, what's the other one? Oh, it's Jersey All Pro. This place, yeah, I can't compete with that. They are making all of that was pay-per-view. God, we'd have so much money if I wasn't an idiot with the pay-per-view bullshit. We could have just kept that going, but nope. I had to do something stupid. But I think that's almost coming to an end. I think. Yeah, new deal for events. So 1 year since your deal collapsed. I think that was in November, so we're about halfway. Once December comes around, I'll try again. But that'll be it for now. So far, not a lot has changed. Styles' popularity is doing pretty all right. Brockity Brock. His popularity's kind of gone down. Punk's kind of been about the same. I'm there. Jerry Lynn went down. Al Snow. He's still at a 72, but he was a lot higher. He was definitely a lot higher. So I digress. That's where we're gonna end off for now. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope to see you again in the next one. See you again next time.